Hey everybody, come on in. Welcome to Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. Hey everybody, come on in. Welcome to Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. Let's go ahead and get this fixed up. Oh. All right, let's make sure, okay, you all can read and make sure I can read. All right, welcome to Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. I make food and femininity content. Today we are going to make Hoppin John, which is Southern food, soul food, if you will, just putting the scraps together from long Southern history. And I saw a recipe on TikTok from Sincerely Legenia. I made it. The guys loved it, so we're going to pack some more for our family friend who's going through chemotherapy, all right? Good afternoon. Hello, Kitty Doodles. Thank you all so much for the hearts. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go ahead and clean off the counter, and I'm going to turn on my struggle air conditioning, all right? I'm a woman of a particular age. Oh, did I not plug it up, y'all? Hold on. Come on in. All right. All right, coming through on two wheels. All right, hopefully it's not too loud, everybody. Thank you for 46 likes. Let's see if we can get up to 100. Let's clean off the counter. And I'm gonna show you all, we are recreating a video today, so I'll show it to you all, then we'll get the ingredients out and get started. Marcus is actually here. If y'all don't know, I'm a boy mom and today is senior prom, so we have been ripping and running. But if I get something done in time, he said he would give it a try. So, if you like meat and starch, if you like beans, if you like hearty food, clearly I could skip a meal. This is your recipe. Come on in. Thank you all so much. Good afternoon. We're over 296 likes. We're almost at 300. Thank you. Hello, Ash is here. Thank you all so much for being here. All right, so let me show you all what we're recreating today. Again, this came from Sincerely Legenia. So I'm going to play this video. Hopefully you all can see and hear.
Do you have your black-eyed peas ready for the new year?
Turn the brightness down. All right.
This Hoppin John recipe. This is a recipe that I originally got from Southern Living's slow cooker recipe book. It is a slow cooker recipe, but I ain't got time for that this year. So I'm going to make it over the stove top. Let me show you how. So I'm going to start out with some bell pepper, some onions, and I'm going to have some smoked sausage already chopped and ready to go. So I'm going to add the smoked sausage to my Dutch oven, and I'm going to let the sausage cook until it sears on the edges. Once it's ready, remove it from the stove. Now to that same skillet, add your chopped onion and bell pepper. We're going to let those saute until they're tender. Once they're tender, add your black-eyed peas. Oh, and don't forget to add chopped garlic as well. We can't forget that. Now add your cans of rotel. For seasoning, we're going to add onion powder, garlic powder, red pepper flakes, some oregano, and season with salt and pepper. Lastly, we're going to add some beef broth, give everything a mix, cover, and let it cook on low for 8 to 10 minutes. When time is up, give it a stir to make sure your peas aren't sticking to the bottom of the pot. Now we're going to return our sausage back to the pot, give everything a mix, cover, and we're going to let it cook for an additional 15 minutes on low, covered. And when you're done, you have a delicious, hearty, and traditional black-eyed pea dish that is ready to go. Now, traditional Hoppin John's recipe, you serve it with rice. We're going to omit the rice this year, and we're going to serve ours up with some delicious old-fashioned cornbread. This is the perfect black-eyed pea recipe for the new year.
All right, everybody.
Hey, everybody, do you have your...
So this is a lot. We're going to do a lazy Hoppin John. I know y'all, trust me, I am not a professional chef. That will be very evident. Thank you so much for the compliment, G. I appreciate it. We're over 1,200 likes. Let's see if we can get to 1,500. Come on in. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. Make sure you subscribe, tap and share, and save the date for Saturday, May 17th. Grub Match is going to be live in Dallas, Texas, and I will be there, so make sure you tune in to FoodtokTV so you can catch it. Let's go ahead and get started with our sausage. Let's go ahead and get that cut up so we can let it brown, all right? All right, so you can do this with any smoked sausage. I have a Polska, I don't know what it's called, y'all. I'm gonna put this wet paper towel underneath the cutting board so it doesn't move too much on me. And the recipe calls for 1 pound. This is 14 ounces, so we'll just do one of these. If you want to make it even meatier when I'm cooking for men and boys, you could add extra protein. But we're gonna cut them kind of thin so that they can brown nicely, all right? Thank you all so much for the badges. Thank you, Sergio. It looks amazing. Y'all would eat that? We're at 1,700 likes. Thank you, everyone. Let's see if we can get to 2,000. So I'm just gonna get a knife and we're gonna go ahead and slice this. But I'll go ahead and set up my cooktop and let it start warming up a little bit so that when we put the sausage on there, it'll start to sear, okay? So we have our little struggle cooktop here. I'm gonna plug this up. And she used a Dutch oven. I'm just gonna get a pot that I have. You want a pot that's gonna be big enough for like a soup or stew because we're gonna add lots of canned ingredients to this. And again, we're doing a lazy version today. I'll walk you all through my substitutes. All right. Yes, I use the oven for storage, all right? So I'm just going to use this big stock pot and I'm gonna turn it on dry and we'll just put it on like a medium so that when we cut our sausage and get in there, it will be kind of preheated. All right, let me move this a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and get these sliced up. You can do this with beef sausage, you can do this with turkey sausage, you can do it with anything that you have. So I'm gonna cut it in half, and then we're gonna cut it on an angle, we're gonna cut it on a bias, try and make it kind of fancy, but also it gives you that surface area so you can get a nice, let me put my stuff on Do Not Disturb, y'all know how I do, so you can get a nice little sear, all right? So I'm cutting them kind of thin, however you like it. Hello, Newtsy. Thank you all so much for being here. Welcome to Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher, and I'm your substitute teacher because when I'm cooking for myself, I cook with sugar substitutes, dairy substitutes, and gluten substitutes. But we have a family friend that is going through chemotherapy, and cancer has touched my family, so he asked if I would make some meals, and the answer is always yes. So if you like hearty Southern food, if you're a 1 meal a day, maybe if you're a meal prepper, I've made this for Marcus. This is Mr. President's one of his favorite dishes. So of course I like to make that for him. But this could be a great one-pot meal for the family too. All right, so we're just giving these a nice little cut. And just with one sausage link, you can get a lot. So we're just preheating the pan here. So I have the other half. We're gonna go ahead and do the same thing and just cut them nice. You could do this with turkey sausage. You could do it with chicken sausage, beef sausage, whatever meat you have left over. Since, you know, with slave history and some of the best food comes from poor people food, you know, we do what we can with what we have. And you use the scraps and you basically just put it all in a pot and make a stew over rice. This recipe, she does cornbread, so I'm gonna make some Jiffy cornbread muffins in the air fryer once we get to a stopping point. I was looking for regular rice so I could put it in the rice cooker, but I couldn't find any. The only thing I found, y'all, is the 5-minute instant rice or stovetop rice. Let me know if anybody's ever used that before. All right. So we have, hey babe, okay, just let them, all right, so you all can see what we have. So this is gonna go directly into the skillet or the stock pot. And I'm just gonna let them kind of brown on their own, all right? So we'll let it kind of sear on a medium. So let's move this over. So what we want to do is we want to let the oil come out of the sausage. I'll pull it down so you all can see a little bit. So while this is searing, what she did in the recipe is that she chopped up her fresh onion and fresh bell pepper. If you have that, even better. We're doing a lazy version today because we are short on time. So I have some frozen peppers and onions that I'm going to put. I know it's not the same, but If you got to get a meal together quick, this could be a great option for you. All right. You don't throw away any scraps. I know that's right. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me get. All right, so we're gonna let this go ahead and do its thing. You all can see it's starting to get a little bit of color. While it's searing, I'm just gonna mix the Jiffy cornbread mix because I'm gonna do this in the air fryer. If you have a great cast iron cornbread recipe, go for it. But this is what we have and this is what I'm gonna use today. So for this, I just need egg and milk, and we're gonna put it all together in a bowl. All right, so I am going to use regular milk since this is gonna be for Marcus. When I do my recipes, I usually use an almond milk. So these are starting to get kind of shiny, and we're gonna let them go a little bit longer, all right? All right, so we have an egg here. I'm gonna go get some regular milk from the other fridge because what I have over here is almond milk. Come on in, everyone. Thank you, fools, for the badges. We're over 4,000 likes. Welcome to Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie, the substitute teacher. All right. So it's coming along nicely. Let's go ahead and get this mixed up. So all we need to do is put this in the bowl. And I have some silicone molds. Some people swear by Jiffy. Some people say, oh my gosh, that's not real cornbread. Do whatever works for you. All right, so we're gonna put this in the bowl. We're gonna crack an egg, and then 1/3 cup of milk, and I am gonna use, regular milk for this recipe, and then we'll come back to our sausages. They're coming along nicely. All right, let's get the measuring cup. All right, so we need 1/3 cup of milk. My handle broke. And we're just going to mix it up. Until we get kind of a paste. Easy peasy. All right, so just the cornbread mix, the milk, and the egg. These look really good. All right, let's get a spatula. If y'all want, you can sit down here and you can sit in the guest room. It's fine either way. All right, so we're gonna get this mixed up. We just want to make sure we don't have any dry clumps in there. And make sure that egg gets incorporated in there with that milk. So this is what we have, and then I'm just gonna spray. I've got a silicone mat. But I think what we'll do, we'll come to a stopping point. I'm gonna go ahead and take these out and just put them in a separate dish, and I wanna go ahead and get the veggies in here. For the veggies, what does she have here for the recipe? 1 onion and 3/4 cup bell pepper. I'm gonna do maybe the whole bag. I like to add extra veggies for fullness, all right? So, all right, so we're gonna take the sausages out of here. And then I'm just gonna put the veggies directly into the pot with the drippings to let them kind of saute down until they become translucent or to your liking. If you're using fresh veggies, you can keep them a little bit crunchy if you want. Or if you don't like the texture, you can cook them to your desired softness. All right, so far this was just one of those smoked sausage links, and we're gonna take all of that out. So this is the lazy way. So we have our smoked sausages. We'll just set that aside. And I think this came from Kroger. So fresh is best if you have it, if you have the time. But I love getting frozen veggies, especially if the ingredients is just onions and peppers. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the whole thing in here, and we're gonna keep it with all of the drippings, all right? And just let them kind of cook. If you have kids that are picky eaters that don't like veggies, this is a great way to put the veggies in the things they're already gonna eat anyway. All right, so we're gonna let that kind of saute down. And I'm gonna put the top on it. Let me swirl it around. And I'm just gonna put the top on this while we get our cornbread started. All right. So let's go ahead and preheat. I usually don't preheat, but we'll go ahead and put this on 400. So we're just gonna make 6 little muffins. I've got this silicone pan here, and I'm gonna go ahead and spray it, and then we're gonna put our mix in here. Oh my gosh, thank you all so much for all the glitter, whatever that is coming down. We have over 5,000 likes. Thank you all so much for being here. Come on in. Welcome to Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. We are making Hoppin John and cornbread tonight. All right, so I'm just gonna give this a spray. This is just some pan release Crisco, or you could grease it however you like. I'm gonna put it over, I'm gonna spray over the sink. That's how my mom taught me, just so you don't make too much of a mess. All right, so we've got this kind of greased up. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna scoop, I'll use the 1/3 cup measure, directly in here. So this can be cooking, and I'll give our veggies another swirl. And I'm gonna use the air fryer. It's not ideal, but that's what I do, especially if you're cooking for one or, you know, small portions. I love using the air fryer. All right, our veggies are doing their thing. They're kind of softening down. We're just gonna let them go a little bit longer, and I'll give them a stir, but I wanna go ahead and get our cornbread done. So I dropped the top. Let's get all of this out. All right, no ingredient left behind. So we have our Jiffy cornbread batter. And we're gonna make some cornbread muffins to go with our Hoppin John. And we're just gonna get in here, we're gonna scrape. We want all of that goodness. We're gonna try and make equal size muffins, but one's gonna be a little bit of a struggle muffin. Maybe that's the one that I'll have. This is my weakness. I love breads and pastries. Clearly I need to leave them alone. All right, so we've gotten that pretty much. We're just gonna scoop that in there. And I'm just gonna wipe the sides. One of them looks a little hefty, so we'll move you over. Then I'm just gonna get a paper towel and kind of wipe the edges. That way when we put it into the oven, it doesn't burn as bad. So I'm gonna get a tray, and I'm gonna cover it with some foil. You all like the vibe? Come on in, Laura. Thank you all so much for being here. We're almost at 7,000 likes. All right, so our veggies have kind of softened. I'm gonna leave the top up. But I want to get our cornbread into the air fryer, okay? So I just have the air fryer tray here, and I'm going to line it with foil. All right, so we have these little pop-up sheets from the Dollar Tree. I love these. They're pre-cut, just to catch any extra splatter. And the air fryer is an oven with a fan. Now the heat source is at the top, so you don't want to have it up too close to the top because it will brown quickly. But I think for small portions, I'm fine with it. All right, so we have our little tray here. I'm gonna put this underneath our muffins. And then before I put this in the air fryer, I just want to wipe the edges so we don't have too much of a mess. So we all eat with our eyes first, right? That's what my mom said. All right. So let's just give that a little bit of a wipe. Same thing when you're serving your plates. You know, if you get a little splatter on the side, take a second. Can I? You look so nice! Look, yeah! Well, can I have my paper towels? It's senior prom. That was my son. Maybe he'll eat something. I haven't seen this whole get up. Anyway, we're gonna put our Jiffy muffins in the air fryer, all right? Are y'all leaving? Oh, can I? Did you get a picture of them together? Okay, thank you. Have fun. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, I appreciate it. All right. I was hoping to get this done so he could eat something before he goes, but let us continue. All right, so let's go ahead and get our veggies nice and soft, and then let's see what she does next. All right, so our veggies are done. We have our sausages. Hello, I know, mom's got a mom. So I think now we're going to put in the beans and other veggies, but let's just pick up where we are.
With you this Hoppin John recipe. This is a recipe that I originally got from Southern Living's slow cooker recipe book. It is a slow cooker recipe, but I ain't got time for that this year. So I'm going to make it over the stove top. Let me show you how. So I'm going to start out with some bell pepper, some onions, and I'm going to have some smoked sausage already chopped and ready to go. So I'm going to add the smoked sausage to my Dutch oven. I'm going to let the sausage cook until it sears on the edges. Once it's ready, remove it from the skillet. Now to that same skillet, add your chopped onion and bell pepper. I'm going to let those saute until they're tender. Once they're tender, add your black-eyed peas. Oh, and don't forget to add chopped garlic as well. You can't forget that.
Okay, now let's do one thing at a time so I don't... Hold on, y'all. Let me see if there... Can I get a picture? Oh, okay. Okay. I did, yeah. I'm gonna get a picture with my son, y'all. It's his senior prom, forgive me. All right, so we're gonna put 4 cans of black-eyed peas in there. And we're not gonna drain them. We're gonna put the whole can in there with liquid and everything, all right? So you could use whatever black-eyed peas you want. Let me taste these veggies. They did have the drippings from the sausage in there, but I'm just gonna taste a little bit. Just to see if we need anything. We're going to season them. Honestly, very neutral. I would probably season them, but we're gonna follow her recipe. She seasons after she does the beans, and it's 4 cans of black-eyed peas. All right, so I've got 4, and we're just using the Kroger brand, all right? So we're gonna add that into the veggies. We're gonna make a nice chunky stew. Come on in, everybody. Welcome to Foodie Fridays with Maggie. This is Maggie the Substitute Teacher. We're making Hoppin John with cornbread. We're almost at 10,000 likes, y'all. We are at 9,400. So this is a Southern recipe, and we've got some Jiffy cornbread in the air fryer. Oh, this one's got the pop top, even better. Do you want to come say hi? All right, this is number 3, and we have 1 more, and then we'll give it a stir. All right, 4 cans of black-eyed peas. So again, this is great to keep you full. You can serve it over rice. We're doing her cornbread. Oh, you look so handsome. I was hoping you would eat. This is Marcus. It's his senior prom, y'all. Oh, Marcus, you look so handsome. Oh. Help you how? Oh, 1 second, y'all. It's not straight, it's braided.
It's like detangled.
Okay, is this cool? Okay, I'm gonna take a picture with you really quick. Is that okay? All right, we're gonna stir these and let me take a quick picture and we're coming right back. Oh my gosh, I didn't get to see any of it. I know, okay. Oh, you look lovely. Okay. You got the two of them? Oh, okay. Oh, here. Okay, no problem. All right, love you. Okay. And we're back. Yeah, it's here. Can I have my paper towels back? Or give you the ones from the... Okay, can you get the ones from the front door? He was just born. Now he's going to prom, and y'all know he signed for the Marines. Okay, thank you. All right, everybody. Let me get it together. Sorry, I'm in a little bit of a fog. I'm gonna try. I'll go cry in the car after. Oh. All right, let's check on our cornbread. Here I come, y'all. So literally, again, we were just talking about the grub match is going to be on Saturday, May 17th. Make sure you all tune. Okay, I'm having a moment. Make sure y'all tune in to FoodtokTV live. It's going to be Saturday, May 17th, and I think it's 6 p.m. I don't know if that's Eastern or Central. Probably Central, knowing FoodtokTV. 1 second, y'all. I pulled the thread through, and I'm literally flying for that event and then coming back. The next day is Marcus's graduation. So it's a very busy time of year. Let's check on our cornbread. Oh, wow. They're getting kind of dark on top, so I'm actually going to put some foil on top because I know they're not done all the way through. Let me just thread this through. I can feel it. You know how you have like a drawstring kind of thing? I yanked it too hard and it came out, and it's going to drive me nuts. But we're just simmering our black eyed peas here, veggies. We're going to add our cans of Rotel, and then we're going to season it well because we want to make sure this is nice and savory. And you can use whatever vegetables that you like. Our recipient needs to avoid green vegetables, so I will take the time to take those out. All right, I think I got it. All right, everybody, here we go. There we go. All right, let's get ourselves together. Focus. We're over 11,000 likes. Thank you all so much. Welcome to Foodie Fridays. Yeah, these boys, y'all. I'm a boy mom times 2. And if you know, you know. All right, so let's check our cornbread. All right. I know it's not done inside, but you see the color here, so I'm gonna put some foil on top and then put it back in the air fryer, because that's the only thing about the air fryer, it will burn. It doesn't cook as evenly, so you want to keep an eye out for that. All right, so we're just gonna get a piece of foil and like kind of lightly tint it, and then that way it won't be as charred on top. All right, so let's put this back in, and I'm gonna put it down towards the bottom. All right, and let that keep doing its thing. All right, so far we have our veggies and we have our can of beans. We did 4 cans? No, we have 1 more can. This is a lot of beans, but I would probably double the meat and half the beans. The first time I do somebody's recipe, I like to do it their way, but you know, that's one of the things about cooking. It's so subjective. You can really make it your own, but if you have somebody in your family who has Southern roots or likes soul food, this could be a great start. All right, this is can number 4. So again, a great 1-pot meal if you got a big family. All right, so let's see what's next.
Slow cooker recipe book. It is a slow cooker recipe, but I ain't got time for that this year, so I'm gonna make it over the stove top. Let me show you how. So I'm gonna start out with some bell pepper, some onions, and I'm going to have some smoked sausage already chopped and ready to go. So I'm going to add the smoked sausage to my Dutch oven, and I'm going to let the sausage cook until it sears on the edges. Once it's ready, remove it from the skillet. Now to that same skillet, add your chopped onion and bell pepper. We're going to let those saute until they're tender. Once they're tender, add your black-eyed peas. Oh, and don't forget to add chopped garlic as well.
Garlic, okay.
Now add your cans of rotel. For seasoning, we're going to add onion powder.
All right, so we got to do the garlic. She does chopped garlic. We're doing a lazy version, so I have some garlic paste, y'all. All right, so I'm just going to get the garlic paste, and I'm going to put a heaping tablespoon in there. That'll help with some of the seasoning. You can use the squeeze tube. Fresh is always best, but this is what I'm using, the garlic paste. You can even make your own. If you all saw the peanut butter soup I did with my mom, she makes her own garlic cubes. So I'm gonna put a heaping tablespoon in here, and then we'll stir it up. And she said the cans of rotel, so let's go ahead and add those tomatoes in here. All right, I know I'm gonna give it 5 more minutes. I know that's not done. All right, so rotel, here's what we have. So the diced tomatoes, so this could be a great like pantry staple recipe. Let's get our cans. We're gonna add that in here. Yes, we said peanut butter soup. I was born in Ghana, hence the outfit. It comes from Ghana, West Africa. And we had a really fun stream with my mom, who is a retired home economics teacher. If you like Thai food, if you like curries and different paste or peanut sauce, if you've ever had anything like that, this is it's called a ground nut soup, but you use natural peanut butter with all the stew ingredients, and it's so savory and delicious. It's probably my favorite and Marcus's favorite too. All right. So we have 2 cans of rotel, 4 cans of beans, 1 sausage, and I put 1 package of the frozen veggies in there. So now we're gonna season this generously. I would have been seasoning all along, but let's go ahead and let this do its thing. We're gonna season it and cover it and let it kind of percolate for a while. But she said onion powder, garlic powder, oregano, salt, and pepper, I think is what she does. All right, so let's see, and we'll get it seasoned up well.
I ain't got time for that this year. So I'm gonna make it over the stove top. Let me show you how. So I'm gonna start out with some bell pepper, some onions, and I'm gonna have some smoked sausage already chopped and ready to go. So I'm gonna add the smoked sausage to my Dutch oven, and I'm going to let the sausage cook until it sears on the edges. Once it's ready, remove it from the skillet. Now to that same skillet, add your chopped onion and bell pepper. We're gonna let those saute until they're tender. Once they're tender, add your black-eyed peas. Oh, and don't forget to add chopped garlic as well. You can't forget that. Now add your cans of rotel. For seasoning, we're going to add onion powder, garlic powder, red pepper flakes, some oregano, and season with salt and pepper.
All right, so let's get it seasoned up really well, and then we're gonna put the top on there. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit so it can bubble because I've had it on medium. We'll do like a medium high so that everything can incorporate, all right? So let's get our onion powder and garlic powder. And I'm just gonna season with my eyes. She does have recipes on here. If you're following the recipe, it's a teaspoon each, all right? So we have onion powder and garlic powder. Deshelle likes that local pizza with the peanut sauce. Yeah, it's really an interesting flavor profile. That one's onion powder. But I think once you try it, if you all saw my TikTok, I took some to the Marines, some of the sergeants that Marcus works out with, and they devoured it. So onion powder and garlic powder, red chili flakes. Thank you, Trini, for the hearts. Thank you all so much. We're at 13,000 likes. Let's see if we can get to 14,000. All right, oregano and chili flake. So you all know if I were making this for Marcus, we'd make it extra spicy. But since we're cooking for others, we're just going to use, how much does she say here? A half teaspoon. So you can do the pepper to your liking. Since it's a lot of liquid, I added that much. And then I got this oregano. I think I got this in Greece at the spice market. So we're just gonna put, oregano is an interesting ingredient for kind of like soul food, but I think we're all the same. We all have the same dishes, rice dishes, chicken dishes, soup dishes. So we're gonna stir this up and let it cook. I think she said for like 10 minutes, and I wanna get that cornbread out and butter it up. All right, so let's give this a stir, and we gotta taste it. My mom says you never serve anybody anything that you haven't tasted. Oh, we didn't do salt and pepper. Y'all, my mind is gone. I'm in mom mode. Oh. All right. Now, our smoked sausage has a lot of salt in it, so I'm gonna go a little bit light with the salt, and then we'll do some black pepper. We have chili flake in here, so we don't need to do too much. Woo! My struggle air conditioning got the pepper right in my eye. Thank you all so much. We're over 14,000 likes. Let's see if we can get to 15,000. All right, so now we're gonna stir, and we're going to taste. Now, other than the drippings, you can do a vegetarian version of Hoppin John, which is kind of what we have so far. And I might as well make the 5-minute rice, right? What kind of recipe? Well, whose recipe? Her name is Sincerely Legenia, and I got this off of TikTok, all right? So I'll hold it up so y'all can see. All right, I'm gonna turn this off because I don't want the cornbread to get too brown. Let's give it a taste. All right, so it should be kind of savory. Get some veggies in there, a little bit of beans in there, and then we'll let it cook for a few minutes, and then we'll add the meat back in. All right, so let's see how we're doing for salt and flavor. Ooh, I put a little extra red pepper flake in there, but it's really good. It tastes like chili without the tomato paste. So it has kind of that southern or southwest kind of flair. Hello, Benjamin, I'm doing well. So we're gonna cover this up, and I think she says cover it for like 10 minutes. We'll just eyeball it, y'all. Let's get our cornbread out and butter our cornbread, all right? So we're gonna let that percolate and do its thing. So this is a little bit dark on top. Let's see. When my mom would make cornbread and she would take it out, she would get the butter stick and she would put it all over, so I will do that. So I'm going to use regular butter since I'm giving this away, but since I'm dairy free, this is what I would use. I get this from Whole Foods. This is real butter. It's just made from goat's milk. It doesn't have the cow dairy proteins, which I'm sensitive to, so just giving you all some substitutes, all right? So we're just going to peel this back, and we're literally going to go on top of our hot cornbread. Fresh peas are canned. These were canned. This is a lazy Hoppin John. Today's a busy day, but in the recipe, and I'll pull the recipe up for you all, she uses the canned, and you can use whatever beans that you have. If you have the fresh ones and you want to soak them, by all means. This was my favorite part of my mom baking. She would butter the cornbread. I'm a hot buttered bread kind of girl, but we're going to pack all of this and give it away. All right. So let's take a look at the small one and see how it did in the air fryer, and then we'll just kind of leave these behind us. So I'm just going to pop it out. I think it looks good. I think it did well. We'll taste one for research purposes, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to pack 5 meals to go. All right. Like I don't know what Jiffy cornbread tastes like. So we put some on top. Let's put a little slab here for you. It's a little crunchy on top. I like it. So I'm going to put it back in the air fryer off. Out of sight, out of mind. But we have our big, beautiful cornbread. And if you all want, we can make some rice. This can be on the side. All right. The cornbread is done. All right. So this has got a rolling boil. Let's put our butter away. All right. So since some of you all asked, and I should have said it in the beginning, for this recipe, you're going to need a big pot. You're going to need a cutting board and a knife. And this is Sincerely Legenia, if I'm saying that correctly. Hopefully you all can see. Sincerely Legenia. And this is her recipe. Well, it's a crock pot recipe that she made into stovetop, all right? So far we got these smoked sausages, and we cooked those first, and we get them nice and seared, then took them out of the pan. And she used fresh onion and bell pepper. I used frozen. This is a lazy meal for me. And you're going to cook them in the skillet with the drippings. And then you can see she does 4 cans of black-eyed peas, some garlic. I did garlic paste. The rotel, you can use diced tomatoes. And then the seasoning, salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, oregano, and chili flake. I was a little heavy on the chili flake. And then you're going to let that kind of simmer for a bit, which we just did. Now we're going to add our sausages back in and then cover it one more time. All right. Woo! Let me turn it down just a little bit. And then after about, I think she says 8 to 10 minutes, you just want to make sure that your beans aren't sticking to the bottom. But you can see it's nice and colorful. It really does have a good flavor. We're going to add our smoked sausage back in here. Now this was 1 sausage link. Let's taste it for quality. The red pepper flake. But it's good. This was the Polska kielbasa. So we're going to add that back in now that our veggies are done. If I'm cooking for boys or men, I'll do 2 or 3 of these. But you can see how this is a beautiful 1-pot meal. You can put that over rice. I don't know if I've ever done the instant rice. I put some regular rice on my grocery list, but then they didn't have regular, so they substituted the instant rice. And since we're meal prepping for someone, let's go ahead and give him some rice. I hope he doesn't mind. So I'm just going to cover this back up, and then we'll let it go for another like 5 minutes, and we'll give it a taste. Thank you, Lorraine, for the roses. We're at 17,000 likes, everybody. Let's see if we can get to 18,000. Welcome to Foodie Fridays. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. Today we're making Hoppin John. We've got some cornbread and let's make some struggle rice. Y'all know if I had regular rice, I love the jasmine sticky rice. I think it's just great. I would have had that in the rice cooker, but let me show you what I got. I don't know, y'all, but since this is a lazy meal, let's give it a try. All right, so this is a stovetop recipe, and it says that you boil it and then you let it sit for 5 minutes. So let's go ahead and do it. And if y'all were with me, were y'all with me last time? I can't remember the stream where we were talking about the rice porridge that my mom used to make for breakfast with cinnamon and sugar. Oh, it's so good. All right, so let's make 6 servings. Let me get a stock pot. I'm a little bit nervous about cooking rice in 5 minutes, but let's try it. Everything is pretty much done. All right, so this is what we have. I think this is just from Aldi's, but you can get different brands. All right, so we're gonna boil the water. We need 3 cups of water, all right? Let's get 3 cups of water. Is that it? 3 cups of water and 3 cups of rice. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio, which is interesting because when we're cooking rice in the rice cooker, you all have heard me say it's a 1-to-2. So for every cup of rice, you're going to do 2 cups of liquid. And I say liquid because you can do water and salt, which is level 1. You could cook your rice in chicken broth, which is what my mom used to do, which is level 2. Gives it that savory flavor, especially for kids. And if you want an island vibe, you can cook your rice in coconut milk. That gives it that nice, almost sweet nuttiness, all right? Or over 20,000 likes. Thank you all so much. Oh, you did the cauliflower rice. Yeah, absolutely. When I'm cooking for myself, love cauliflower rice, but we're gonna pack and give this away. Let's get 3 cups of water. All right, so we're gonna do 1, 2, and 3. All right. I feel like a college student trying to cook some struggle meal in a dorm. All right. Basically, you just boil the water, stir in the rice, and cover it for 5 minutes. So let's go ahead and boil this behind us. Y'all don't need to watch water boil, and let's clean up so we can start assembling our giveaway meals, all right? So what we have right now is just water. We'll turn it on over here. I'll move the griddle, and we'll put this on high. All right, so let's give our beans a stir, and we'll turn this down. Just want to make sure our beans aren't sticking to the bottom. And I'm going to leave the top off of it because I'm looking at hers. Hers looks a little bit chunky. I think I want to get rid of a little bit of this liquid. I don't know if you all like it saucy or if you like it more like a stew. I'm more of a stew than a soup girl, but it's not about me. We're cooking for others. But let's see what happens, all right? So let's clean up a little bit. And we're going to get our package ready. Oh, we're going to need 3 cups of rice as soon as that comes to a boil. So come on in, everybody. Welcome to Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. We're making Hoppin John, which is just like a, I don't know, just like soul food, like southern food, rice and beans, rice and black-eyed peas. I'm more of a baked beans kind of girl, but you know, it's good to know to cook other things that other people like, all right? Thank you so much for liking and tapping and sharing. We're at 22,000 likes, you all. Thank you all so much. Let's get our containers ready. So I buy these from Walmart. Aw, thank you for the hearts and the flowers. Thank you for the roses. So we have 2. So if you're a meal prepper, we're gonna give these away. Someone someone very close to our family is going through chemotherapy, so I love cooking meals that he can just kind of eat and go. And he said he has to avoid green vegetables, so I'm actually going to take the time and take out the green peppers for him. The medication that he's on, he can't have green vegetables. So again, you never know what people are going through. You never know. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get the cornbread in like a little bag. Let me see what I have. Yeah. I have these sandwich bags. Do I have enough? I only have 2. All right. That's okay. We'll figure out something. We're going to put the cornbread in this. We'll do some wax paper, maybe put it on the side. I'm just going to give our Hoppin John a stir. And I'm going to taste it now that we put the sausage back in here for saltiness. And, oh, how's our water? Almost boiling. Focus, Maggie. All right, so let's get 3 more of these. I like to give him 5 meals so he has a work week of meals. And then we're gonna put the rice on the bottom. We're gonna put the Hoppin John on top and then cornbread on the side, all right? So I think this came together pretty easy. If you like, you know, those hearty 1 meals, that's the goal, or this is the goal. We'll see how ours looks. Okay, water is boiling. All right, so let's do this. I'm gonna get a spoonful with a little bit of everything, a little tomato, a little sausage. And we're gonna give this a taste. It's lava hot. Thank you so much, Maria. Happy Friday. Hoppin John is just beans and sausage, kind of whatever veggies and beans and scraps that you had coming from the South. You put it together in a stew and serve it over rice. So this is Mr. President's favorite, one of them. Oh yeah. Honestly, when it all comes together and you build the perfect bite with the sausage, with the beans, with the peppers, and the sauce, I can see why people like it. Separately, I'm kind of like, I don't know. But together, put that over rice, and then we're going to have some cornbread. So let me see if I can... Oh, let's get our rice out. All right, so we'll just let this continue to do its thing. Our water's boiling. So we're doing some struggle minute rice. All right, I should have had this ready. Of course I didn't. I don't know, y'all. Is this worth it? I've never done instant rice before. We gotta salt it. So 1, 2, 3. This is so janky. All right, let's stir it up. And I have to salt it. We can't have unflavored rice. It's just a no-no. And then we'll set a timer for 5 minutes. So I'm just gonna, the recipe doesn't call for salt, but the best food is when everything tastes good on its own, and then when you combine it, it's delicious. All right, and so since nothing's raw, I'm just gonna taste the spoon for saltiness. I think it's good. I think it's a little light, but since this has sausage, it's good. So I'm just gonna put the top on this, and I'm gonna set the timer for 5 minutes, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so let's see if we can get our cornbread out, and let's assemble. Avengers assemble. And I'll try and make 1 plate. The recipe and the pictures and everything will be on FoodtokTV.com. Make sure you tune in. FoodtokTV goes live every day with different cooking creators. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. I do have a channel on TikTok and all the other platforms. I make food and femininity content. When I'm cooking for myself, which I'm trying to do less of, trying to skip some meals, that's another reason it's good to give it away. less hanging around in your house. I cook with sugar substitutes, dairy substitutes, and gluten substitutes. Let's get our Jiffy cornbread. So I did some air fryer cornbread. That's how she served hers. Of course, proper way, do it in the oven, all right? So let's go ahead and take these out. They come out of the silicone, so nice. So I'm gonna pack his cornbread. I wanna do like one each. Let's see, we'll make one. Kind of nice. And after this, I'll go and deliver these. I'm just thinking about Marcus, y'all. I just can't believe it. If you missed it, our oldest's prom is tonight and his date was here and just can't believe it. All right, we've got our cornbread. This one was my piece. It came out nice. A nice little side. Don't want to put that inside. I'll try this with a little bit of the goat's butter. We've got 3 more minutes. I'll show you all the recipe and then we're gonna plate and I'll make one small plate for the picture, all right? Let's do some goat's butter. So again, this is Delamere goat's butter. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on my cornbread that I don't need to have while we're waiting on our rice. And then we'll assemble and I'll show you all what we made. So however you would use butter, if you were trying to avoid dairy, this could be an option for you. Looks good. We're at 27,000 likes, you all. Let's see if we can get to 28,000. All right, this was the plan.
Sticking to the bottom of the pot. Now we're going to return our sausage back. Hey everybody, do you have your black-eyed peas ready for the new year? Let me share with you this Hoppin John recipe. This is a recipe that I originally got from Southern Living's slow cooker recipe book. It is a slow cooker recipe, but I ain't got time for that this year. So I'm going to make it over the stove top. Let me show you how. So I'm going to start out with some bell pepper, some onions, and some smoked sausage already chopped and ready to go. So I'm going to add the smoked sausage to my Dutch oven and I'm going to let the sausage cook until it sears on the edges. Once it's ready, remove it from the skillet. Now to that same skillet, add your chopped onion and bell pepper. We're going to let those saute until they're tender. Once they're tender, add your black-eyed peas. Oh, and don't forget to add chopped garlic as well. We can't forget that. Now add your cans of rotel. For seasoning, we're going to add onion powder, garlic powder, red pepper flakes, some oregano, and season with salt and pepper. Lastly, we're going to add some beef broth. Give everything a mix.
I forgot the beef broth. I always forget the beef broth.
When time is up,
I'll put a
give
splash.
it a stir to make sure your peas aren't sticking to the bottom of the pot. Now we're going to return our sausage back to the pot. Give everything a mix. Cover and we're going to let it cook for an additional 15 minutes on low, covered. And when you're done, you have a delicious, hearty, and traditional black-eyed pea dish that is ready to go. Now, traditional Hoppin John's recipe, you serve it with rice. We're going to omit the rice this year, and we're going to serve ours up with some delicious old-fashioned cornbread. This is the perfect black-eyed pea recipe for the new year. Hey,
y'all, Virginia is actually watching us on YouTube, so thank you so much for coming by. She said, thanks so much for tagging me. I hope you guys love the recipe. It's a family favorite in my house. So again, her channel is Sincerely Virginia, and we made her Hoppin John. So we got 20 seconds left. She put beef broth in this, and I always forget, y'all, but just because the original recipe creator is here, let's see. And I did put it in the recipe. So the recipe is on FoodtokTV.com. Okay. She puts a cup of beef broth. So I'll just put like that much. I think it's good. Honestly, I think it tastes good. But since it was a little spicy. All right, let's go ahead. Our struggle rice is done. And I'm going to give it another little taste. See if that beef broth changes the flavor a little bit. Make sure y'all can see. Okay. All right. So our instant rice is done. Is it magic? Let's fluff it up and see how we like it. Again, I'm a rice cooker rice kind of girl, but in a pinch, you know, a lot of kids are graduating, maybe going off to college. You know, you never know. Not everybody has access to a proper kitchen. Could be truckers, could be travel nurses. So let's give our struggle instant rice a taste. It gets the job done. I'm not gonna lie. It's a good vehicle. The Hoppin John is the star of the show. So I'm gonna pack one, and then I'll plate one so you all can see, and then I'll get these ready for him to go. Hello, C. Diane. We're over 30,000 likes. Thank you all so much. All right, so we're gonna do rice and cornbread. So let me get a nice spoonful of rice. And Erin Laura gave us a great tip that we're gonna put the Hoppin John on top, because that'll help keep it kind of moist. Let's do this. I'll use this tray for support. So we'll give him a nice ladle here. Oh, I gotta take the greens out. Let me get it on a plate for y'all. And then you've got your cornbread on the side. All right. So there's one meal that he can just kind of heat and go. So when Simply Virginia did hers, she did it in a little bowl. So let me get a bowl and make a nice little serving. So we got one, I'll do 5 more afterwards. Let's see. All right, so just for presentation, let's put rice in the bottom, and I'll just zoom in so it looks like a lot more. Let's put our Hoppin. This bowl is a little bit big, but let me see. And we'll do I probably should have used a smaller bowl, but let me see if I can get a picture of that, and then we'll take a taste of everything combined, and then I'll finish packing up so you all can see it. Let's get the camera out. I think we're done with that. But yeah, I just wanted to give you all some simple Southern food. This was the goal. I think we came very close to it. I think the longer you let it sit, it'll thicken up, or you could drain the beans. Virginia, if you're still watching, you can let me know what I did. But hers looks amazing, and she eats it with the cornbread. All right. Let's get in here. Let me do this. I'm going to set that up on the side. There we go. One with the flash, one without. And then we'll do a nice little video. And then, of course, I'll taste. All right. So I am going to get a little bit of cornbread. You love the dress? Thank you. It's from Ghana. If you all want to come to Ghana with me, that's where I was born. I was born in Ghana. I'm taking a trip, and I'm taking you all with me. I partnered with a travel group, and then we're calling it December to Remember. So you can go to teachablemomentswithmaggie.com for all of the details. And we're going to see the slave castles where they make the kente cloth, Accra, the capital city, so much stuff. All of that, teachablemomentswithmaggie.com if you want to escape the cold and come to Ghana with me. All right, let's give this a taste all together. So we're going to get some rice. We're going to get some sausage. This is starch on starch on starch. Would that be too much? Honestly, when you build the perfect bite, I don't know how, but it's like the sweetness of the cornbread, the savoriness of the stew, the saltiness of the sausage, and like the creaminess of the rice. Again, I call it man food, but if you like this kind of like southern country cooking, black eyed peas for the win. So this is why we give it away. So we're just going to do our rice. I need more rice than this. I don't know. African, Caribbean, Asian households, we don't skimp on rice. These pans get kind of hot, so you could do it on the side if you wanted to, or on top. And then you've got your little cornbread muffin. I think y'all would like that. I think y'all would eat that. But I don't want that cornbread to get soggy, so I'm going to pack this separate. And then I'm going to give him all of his cornbread in this sandwich baggie. All right, so that was today's recipe, you all. So I'm just going to continue to pack and go, but I do need to take the green peppers out of this for him, so I won't bore y'all with that because he can't have green vegetables, I found out today. But yes, the recipe is going to be at FoodtokTV.com. We are at 34.8 thousand likes. Let's see if we can get to 35,000 if you would tap on your way out. Again, save the date for Saturday, May 17th. Watch live on Food Talk TV. I'll be in Dallas, Texas for Grub Match. It will be a live competition and it'll be on Food Talk TV channel as well. So I'm with you all Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. Thank you all so much. We made 35,000 likes. So thank you, Simply Legenia, for allowing us to recreate your meal. I will make this again on Monday for the Marines. I'll probably just double or triple the protein, and I'll definitely have some regular rice, and I'll do a whole pan of cornbread. So if y'all want to see me make it again for the Marines, then tune in Monday. So my next cooking stream is Monday at 5 p.m. If you want the relationship content, that'll be tomorrow at 5 p.m. as well. All right, looks delicious. Thanks, everybody, and thank you, Food Talk TV. See you all next week. If I can figure out. All right, let's try over here. There we go.